Hello, my name is Austin. I'm a solutions engineer at Verkada, and this video will cover Verkada guest permissions. Permissions can be set up on either a per-user basis or at the group level. You will want to group users with similar permissions so that you will not have to provision access for each user. To modify an individual user's guest permissions, click on the product menu and then Admin. Under Org Settings, select Users. After that, select the desired user. Under the individual users page, select Manage Roles. Under Manage Roles, you are able to grant the desired site and/or workplace subsite roles to the user. By default, all users will be provisioned with no access to any workplace sites or subsites, which means they will not be able to see any workplace sites within the organization. Site viewer permissions will allow the user to view guest logs and analytics, sign out users and print badges, view and open doors if the user has the appropriate access control permissions, and view context camera footage if the user has the appropriate camera permissions for the site. Site admin permissions will grant all the same permissions as the site viewer role, as well as the ability to manage employees from site-specific employee list, edit site-specific guest settings, add or edit cameras if the user has at least a live-only viewer role for the respective camera site, and add or edit doors if the user is also an access site admin for the respective site. Note that if a user is granted org admin permissions, they will be granted site admin access for all workplace sites and subsites. This will grant them all the same permissions as the site admin role, as well as the ability to assign or remove workplace permissions from other users and import or modify workplace sites. Org admins can also edit organization-level guest settings. As mentioned previously, you are able to add cameras and doors to guest sites, which will appear on that respective site's guest homepage. In order for a user to view or modify cameras in a guest site, they will need to have the appropriate workplace permissions, as well as at least a camera live-only viewer role for the respective site. If the user is also needing to view historical footage tied to visit logs, they will need at least a camera site viewer role for the respective site. These permissions can be applied under Manage Roles by selecting the drop-down under Role and applying the appropriate permissions. For more information on cameras permissioning, see the Camera Sites and Permissions video, which is linked in the description. In order for a user to view and unlock doors in a guest site, they will need to have the appropriate workplace permissions as well as the ability to remotely unlock the doors assigned to the guest site. If the user would like to modify the doors assigned to a guest site, they will need to have the appropriate workplace permissions as well as be an access site admin for the respective site. You are able to apply Access Site Admin permissions under Manage Roles by selecting the drop-down under Access Site Role and applying the appropriate permissions. In order to apply the needed remote unlock capabilities, this will need to be done under the Access Control portion of Command. For more information on granting a user access to specific doors, see the Setting Yourself Up in Access Control video, which is linked in the description. Once all of the correct permissions have been applied, select Save. If you would like a visual representation as well as additional information on which roles give access to what permissions, see the knowledge base article, Roles and Permissions for Guest, linked in the description. Finally, we will walk through how to manage workplace permissions on a per-site basis. Select the Products menu and then Admin. In the left navigation, select Sites and then select the desired site. Next, click Manage, then Add. From there, you will select the desired user or groups that you wish to grant permissions for the site. After that, grant the desired roles for the chosen users or groups and select Add. If you need to modify permissions for an existing user or group, select them from the list, modify the roles for the chosen user or group, and then select Done. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have further questions, please visit our Knowledge Center or contact our 24/7 support team.